What's on the radar, everybody? And we got Isa Marina on the show today.
Hey.
Welcome. It's an exciting week for you.
Yes.
You're dropping your new single this Friday, correct?
Yes.
First of all, how is it outside? Because, if for everybody who's, watching, it's disgusting out in New York City right now.
It's trash.
And I was just like, that's how you know summer's over.
Yeah, it's just sad and muggy and cold. I feel like just summer ended, super quick.
Yeah, and it was, 90 degrees out.
Yeah.
And it was just,
Yeah.
right into fall. There was no waiting period. There was no, here's a gradual decline. It's just cold as all hell out, disgusting. But it's a great week for you because you are dropping your new single.
Yes.
And you have some new work coming out and all that. And you did
Yeah.
drop another EP earlier this year, right?
Yes, so I actually dropped my sophomore EP, Mirrors Volume 1, the end of 2016.
Right.
And then I rolled out a music video for Good For Me, which everyone loves that music video because
Yeah,
it's
it was very dope.
scandalous.
I was watching it this morning. I was like, she did a great job in it. Yeah.
So that was my last major
Mhm.
piece of work, and since then I've just been in the studio working on the new project, really finding my sound. And I feel like with the new single No Gray, I feel like that's when people are gonna be like, oh, this is Isa.
Yeah, because I was listening to your music and I was like, wow, she has a really diverse range of things that she's done. Because I was listening to your first EP and there was a little EDM on there, and I was like, oh, this is dope because that's something that's been popular for some time now. And it's in the middle of the song you had the breakdown and all that stuff like that. But then I also got a little hint of a little Latin sound here and there, and I felt like it all kind of came together very well in both the EPs. I felt like you balanced everything out, and you also kind of dabbled in other sounds and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Is that something you like to do a lot, or are you just kind of experimenting here and there to find the right right song?
Definitely. Then they're all a piece of me though. So I was classically trained through high school, and I still take voice lessons now. So it was a huge focus for me to have those very vocally driven tracks. But then I also like house music and EDM, so I needed that there. I love R&B and soul, so definitely through all my songs you'll always hear the harmonies and the arrangements are so 90s R&B.
Yeah, I was getting that vibe
fuse
from you.
all of that together, and then of course my Latin culture, Afro-Latin culture, that was super important to me. But now I feel like I've been really able to zone in on my sound, and I'm older now too. Then I was just really just trying to figure it out and just taking a listen to I like this track, I like this beat, all right, let's write to it, let's do it. So I feel definitely No Gray showcases the culmination of the experimentation of those EPs where it's a really solid pop driven but Afro Latino sound. I just love that.
Right. So with your music, and you were talking about the Latin influence, and obviously being raised in the Bronx, stuff like that, I'm sure that has a profound effect on your music. Now, and I know you sang a little bit in Spanish in one of the songs I was listening to on the second EP this morning. So is that something you plan on doing more, or do you plan on singing more to English music, especially with female artists? They'll go one way or they'll go the other way, but they won't go in between and do English and Spanish. So what's kind of your direction and your process with that?
Definitely for the new EP that eventually will come out in 2019. I've recorded tracks in Spanish.
That's
so
dope.
Yeah, it was really important to me. Okay, there has to be as much as you love Latin music and singing in Spanish, you need to sing something in Spanish. So that was super important to me. And then just moving forward, definitely keeping my roots are in the Bronx, they're in NYC, so hip hop and R&B will always be at the foundation of what I do. But definitely the Latin culture has to be there, whether it is in how the drum set is in a song, if we have congas in there, if I'm singing a verse in Spanish, I'm really concerned with the fusion and bringing that together, and obviously reaching out to the different people that have always supported me and really care for me.
Right. So with your grandmother being, a Cuban singer, pretty famous too, did she did her influence kind of affect you with how you sang, or what type of influence and what type of I guess effect did your grandmother singing have on you?
Definitely positive, because from a young age I just remember knowing oh, this is what I'm gonna do, period, just because I knew it was possible because I saw it in her. So I was just okay, this is happening. And as far as stylistically, especially recently, she always told me like, you need to have those Latin drums in there. You need that Afro-Cuban
Of course,
sound.
yeah.
Like, come on, you gotta do it. You gotta. And so I finally was able to match up with the right producers to do that. So that was super helpful as well. Like anytime like I'm having a show, I'm writing a new song, I always call her like, what do you think about this? What should I do here? So
Is she the first person you play your music to?
No, actually,
Oh,
I
she's
always
not?
she's actually not. I usually play it to my team members,
Okay.
actually, which are close friends of mine from college as well. Just because I'm always very like.
So if they co-sign it, then do you show it to your grandmother, or
Yeah.
or do you just wait till it's out and you're like and you
No.
avoid that whole headache of having your grandmother's like opinion in there and you're just like, it's out, it's already out, there's no changing it now.
No. I'll usually play like once they're like, okay, we like it or whatever. It's almost in the finishing stages. Then I'll show it to her. So she's like, okay, well, you guys could add this or, yeah, definitely. Even my parents too. I play things for them when they're in the rough stages just to see like, what do you think, it should work? Should this be more up tempo? Should we add more of this?
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you use that you were talking about like the drums and stuff like that, because I feel like that's what's hot now, especially like that Caribbean vibe with everything. It's kind of been hot for a few years now.
Yeah.
And like I know on your new single you kind of like infuse a little Afro beats in there too. So is that like you touching like the other side of like your culture, or what made you like come to that decision that you wanted to do all that?
Because I felt like it was just me. Like that's just who I am.
Right.
So it's I feel like with making music, it comes to a point like throughout your growth as a person, it becomes even more personal than it already is. It's always personal. But
yeah, because at first you're just like you're making music to make music, but then as you grow and you learn more and like your music touches more people and you grow as a person, like it changes, right?
Yeah, it definitely changes. And throughout all of the new tracks I've done, that's just been the main theme. Like now that I'm more set into who I am and I'm like I want to show it and like in different ways and how I dress, my makeup, like I have my hair short now, but then I'll like wear like a huge curly wig and stuff like that the other day. So
see, I think that would be like a vibe for like an album cover. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like that would be kind of cool, especially if you're showcasing the Afro beat side of like your culture and stuff like that. Like that'd be really cool.
Yeah. So I feel like that was the main thing. Like, okay, I know who I am. Like I'm solid in who I am. So let's just be myself. Like it sounds so corny.
Right.
People always say just be yourself, but it's true. Like
embrace like your culture and your heritage and stuff like that. And you picked a great time to add like to have like an Afrobeats vibe in your song, because that's like what's hot now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So talk about the single. So I know there's like a little story behind it.
Yeah.
So if you want to elaborate on the story for the people watching at home.
We could elaborate for days. So No Gray was basically about your typical situationship. I feel like a lot of us have experienced that, where you really like each other. You could be in love even, but it's not too sure of where you guys stand. It's not black or white. It's in the gray area. So we were in the studio. I was in the studio with YB. Ryan Matthew Tedder, Righteous Ryan, known as that as well, and Skywalker Beats. We were in Pittsburgh. Like I did all of these songs in Pittsburgh, and we were just going over the story. Like we had taken a little break, so I was telling them all, that situation, and then for some reason, like the words "no gray" just stuck.
Right.
And we just went on from there. So the song itself is just really talking about, like things have to be in black and white, no gray, no gray, no gray. Like I gotta get out of the situation. And then in real life, like that's what actually happened. I was like, so what do you want to do? You still don't know? Okay, well, I'm going to take myself out of the gray area and move on with my life. So I feel like the beat itself, it's so up. And even though it's detailing kind of like this breakup situation, it's also very empowering because, she decides to take herself out of the situation, aka me.
Right.
Yeah.
So does the music video reflect that? Because I feel like that's a really dope story to tell through a visual aspect. And based off like your previous music videos, I know you like to get a little messy story with it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely for this video, we're gonna go all out as far as the story, and I always like to use like subtle hints, like symbolism here and there. So it's gonna be fun to put
Do you
that
throw a
out
little
there.
shade in the video?
Nah, we're not gonna.
See, you say that now, but then the video comes
Nah.
out, and then like, I mean, I probably won't catch it, but it'll be in there somewhere.
It might be a little bit in there. I mean, I'm sure people ask me like, "Who is it about?" Or maybe the person would be like, "Is that about me?" Sips,
Maybe
sips tea,
sips tea.
literally.
So did you
Yeah.
act in the video? Was it just like a straight music video, or did you have like a little acting scene here and there in it?
It'll be it's a straight music video. Slight acting, not like How Good For Me was, where I was literally like soap opera status in the beginning.
You were like a telenovela. And
Yeah.
you were like, I'm gonna be dramatic as hell.
Oh yeah, I was just like, let's go for it, let's do it. But it's gonna be straight into the song itself, but definitely symbolism there, working with colors. I got to do the music video with Stack Moses.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was super fun. He's done a lot of work with French Montana.
Album
a lot of
artwork,
people
which
I
no
love.
one's seen yet, is like, but I've seen.
Yeah.
The artwork for the single looks dope too.
Thank
like
you.
you really did it up with the colors, and like you really kept it like, I felt like very traditional, you know?
Yeah. That was Lauro Salas who did that. He's a designer. He's amazing.
That was dope.
Yeah.
So what was it like working with the guy who directed the video? You know, you said he's worked with like French Montana and stuff like that.
Super fun. Like sometimes you get afraid to ask, or people like, will you work with me? Will you not? And he was just so willing to work with me and just super proactive, and I'm super happy. I'm super happy with it. I can't wait for people to see
That's
it.
amazing. He's from New York too?
No, he's from Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's from Texas. I believe he's in LA now and like flying back and forth. And it's interesting because when I was starting out, I think he was just starting out. And so he was in Texas though. So like I couldn't really do anything because I didn't have the budget to do anything or fly people out. Right. But now it's like, we're both more established. I was like, oh my God, we have to work together. So it worked out. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
But before I let you go, there's one thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about, I saw your TRL performance.
Oh my gosh.
Now, how did you land that? Because I know I always see like people, performing on TRL and stuff like that. And obviously it was a competition, correct? So how did like you get in contact for that? Was it like a contest that you won that you got to perform in front of her? What was it like?
It was one of those social media luck type of situations. So my friend, she's always on Twitter. Just looking up auditions, like just randomly like here's this audition, here's this. So I guess one of their casting directors had put up a tweet about just casting for TRL in general in the summertime and through the fall. So it was like, she just sent it to me. So I was like, okay, like I'll submit my profile. I submitted it, didn't think nothing of it. I think 2 months passed. Then randomly in October, I get a call and I'm like, I'm not gonna pick up. I don't know the number. I was like, if they leave a voicemail, like it's important. So they left a voicemail right after, and I'm like literally at my desk at work because I used to work in the building, in the Viacom building right across the street from there. And I heard the voicemail and I'm like, oh my God. I started spazzing out.
You're like, oh shit, I have to do this now.
I have to do this. So they basically told me, that they were picking singers to come in to perform for Keyshia Cole, and it was a contest, and I was like, oh my God.
Now, are you a big Keyshia Cole fan?
Yeah. And
okay.
it was
I had to ask.
You know what was so crazy? Literally, so me and my best friends have a little G chat going on all day long, and we were literally just talking about Keyshia Cole. I don't know what interview of hers that she had done that week or something. So then I'm hearing this voicemail and I'm like, yo, we just talked about her. That's so crazy. So it was one of those just like, oh my God, you just got to be ready and go.
Yeah, you'll never know where life takes you.
Yeah, no. So I literally went home, warmed up my voice, practiced my song, and then was just ready to roll the next day.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was a good experience though.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Did she say anything to you after?
Oh my gosh, yeah. She was so sweet and she congratulated me and she was just like giving you encouraging words, and those are like a lot of the moments that you really I don't want to say like live for, but you really hold close to your heart, especially coming up in this industry. Just seeing people you admire like give you real advice and like really vouch for you, it means a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on
Thank
everything.
you.
So let the people know what they need to know. I know you got an upcoming performance, correct?
Yes.
So let them know when that's gonna be, where they can get tickets, all that stuff like that.
Yes. So my next show is going to be October 16th at Rockwood Music Hall. Our set is at 6 p.m. We're going to be on stage 1, and it's a free show. So you could go to isamarina.com/tour to find out any more details as far as the address, any information, but it is for free. And No Grade comes out this Friday, y'all. I'm so excited, and it's going to be available everywhere.
Do we have a release date on the music video or not?
Music video, not yet.
But soon.
But soon. You know it has to be soon if the single's coming out.
Because like you don't want to wait too long.
You
want it to be a nice little follow-up.
Yeah.
And a new EP next year.
Yes, a new EP next year.
Amazing.
Definitely a lot more content. Like, I'm working on a bunch of stuff for you guys, and we've been putting in a lot of work the past year, so a lot of surprises.
That's amazing. Yeah. And where can they follow you at?
You could follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Where else? Snapchat. I am Isa Marina. So everywhere. Everything is I am Isa Marina.
Thank you so much for coming by. It's Isa Marina on the radar. Let's get it.
Yeah. Thank you.